Two, two, two goals. Man, I'm loving it. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this is the first World Cup that the big players are actually all scoring. Messi scoring, Holland is scoring, Mbappe, Kane scored,
Yeah.
Ronaldo just scored two.
Well, Kane sucks, but no, he's kidding. Because he didn't score today against Ghana, 0-0. So does he get the criticism as Ronaldo from the first match?
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
True, but English fans don't like to talk about that.
Because they want Kane to win Ballon d'Or, right?
They, they only like to talk about it when they win. Felt like I didn't hear a peep from them, but going back to the topic. Ooh, dude, I'm so hyped though.
And then Rafael Leao also scores after coming back from the UFC fight. If anyone remembers what he did. I didn't get to watch the game, but I was watching it live, like on my phone, like the live score, but not the actual game.
So this game, they played with a different lineup a little bit. They tweaked it. Got Felix in, which I thought was pretty good. Like, he's the guy who should be playing, honestly, in my opinion,
And
because
he has chemistry with Ronaldo.
he has chemistry with Ronaldo. He plays throughout the season. I feel like he has the touch and the skill and the vision, sometimes the creativity.
And the confidence from all the goals he's been scoring in Al Nassr. Like, remember where you play, right? If you're scoring goals and giving assists, you have confidence, and that comes in handy in any game. And let's just say Portugal versus Uzbekistan, they're not the strongest of Uzbekistan, so it's perfect for Felix because he could kind of feel like when he plays in Saudi Arabia, right? Because apparently big players in this World Cup have shown us that they can break small teams. We're seeing it throughout the whole World Cup. Colombia couldn't even score against one that Portugal tied last week. Democratic Republic of Congo, I think that's how you say it.
And they even changed their style of play a little bit this game. Like, this is more like it. What I saw in the first half should be how they should be playing all the time. 90 minutes, 120 minutes. Like, they should be giving that the whole game. First half, it was good. You said it in the previous video, but we didn't have time to post it. And especially because football is going so fast with the World Cup.
Everyday games now.
You said Ronaldo is the top scorer for Portugal, and he's always there to score goals. And what does he do? He scored goals today.
And he became the first player to score in six different World Cups or something like that.
Yeah. People count him out, but he scored two today, and all he needs is the service. That's the difference in the first half today, specifically. They started sending crosses into him, giving him passes. This is what happens when you give him the passes.
I think you follow Portugal more than I do, obviously. Like I follow Argentina a lot more than you do. So I know more about, like, press conferences, they talk and things like that. So my question to you is, because with Argentina, you see it, right? The whole group likes to play as a team. Does Portugal seem like they're playing as a team every game? Or is because I'm hearing the same thing in the last World Cup. When Ronaldo starts scoring or something, everyone's happy. But at the moment, but then again, there's some games where the Portugal players are not playing for whatever reason, not playing good because they're not playing for Ronaldo. And I'm not saying you should play for Ronaldo, but there should be something to play for in the World Cup. And then I guess they just like to criticize like its own players and the chemistry. So me, it's just like they today look good, like emotionally, not just the play, but like them as a team. And is it gonna continue, or like another game they're also gonna act to be just individual and act like it's his fault, it's my fault? Like, what do you expect in the next games? And knowing Portugal.
Good question. Hear me out. Haters gonna hate on what I'm gonna say, but this is my honest opinion, and this is how I feel or how I see it when I'm watching the games, or even today. So today, first half was great. They were sending balls in, like I said, giving him passes. He scored two goals. For some reason, second half, Portugal goes back to the first game Portugal. Not really giving Ronaldo the passes. Bro, the guy just needed one more goal for a hat trick in 45 minutes.
And he scored 2 in the first half.
Against Uzbekistan. No disrespect, but that should be a walk in the park to give Ronaldo one goal in 45 minutes. I think that's pretty realistic.
I mean, I thought he was going to score a poker, to be honest, after the first half. After watching the first half, I was like, he could score another 2 in the second half.
There were many chances. There was one chance where Trincao got the ball. Ronaldo was making the run, and he was basically through. He just needed to make a simple pass to Ronaldo, and he was in. What does Trincao do? He doesn't bother looking up, and he just passes to the guy right next to him on the left. Like, what? And then you have the other guy who, honestly, I don't really like that much because he's just keeping the ball, trying to dribble everybody, but he can't even beat one guy. He loses the ball every single time, but Ronaldo is trying to make runs.
Who's that?
Conceição.
Oh.
People say he's good, but in my opinion, he's a bad Messi.
Yeah, I think people don't realize that the small details matter, right? Last World Cup against Morocco, Ronaldo wasn't playing. They didn't know who was going to score. And they ended up losing. And luckily, Argentina won the World Cup. But before they won the World Cup, you could see, and even with Barca, you could see that Messi would give a lot of passes, open plays, and the forwards would miss it by themselves. But, Messi, they will blame Messi. And I didn't want to change the subject from here. But kind of what you're saying, like, if Ronaldo's open to pass the ball and score, just pass it. Rather than trying to, like, send it to the guy on the side and do a cross or restart the play in the corner when you clearly have another chance of a goal, right? Because those matter in important games. And I was thinking that yesterday, the Messi's second goal, where he gave it by himself to Julian Alvarez. And, Julian Alvarez is great, but then he misses it by himself. And I'm like, yo, those could kill you. In that one, they could have technically tied it if they wouldn't have scores. Luckily, Messi scored at the end. But, like, misses like that, it's kind of like, at the end, Messi's going to get blamed. Here, Portugal loses, where they know they can blame Ronaldo. They blame him last World Cup, and he was benched.
Yeah, everybody's blaming a 41-year-old guy, but if they're actually watching the game or looking more into how they're playing and what they're doing, it's just terrible. I want to add more, like, for example, there were some plays where they would pass it sideways, or move the ball super slow, and then they would pass it back, and then you could see Ronaldo, like, smacking his knees, like, come on, guys. Play it forward, play it faster, stop playing it back, He would get frustrated, like, what are we playing it back for? You can even tell there were a couple times where Ronaldo got on the ball. He went back to get the ball, and then he tried to actually pick up the pace of how Portugal was playing. But then once he passed it off, that person was playing slow again. I'm like, what? A 41-year-old guy is trying to play fast, and y'all are playing super slow. Like, that's not gonna break down any defense.
Exactly.
Going to the later rounds.
And hear this out. Maybe the Portugal players think it's like when they go against smaller teams, it's gonna be an easy game. But the Democratic Republic of Congo showed them it's not gonna be easy, right? Uzbekistan, they were definitely way worse defensively than the before team. So now that Portugal is going against Colombia next, that's going to be a really great game. And who knows, maybe, because like I said, people blame Ronaldo's first game. Whatever. There's Vitinha, Neves, Nuno Mendes, Bruno Fernandes. Oh yeah, Bernardo Silva. And then they have that want to be Ronaldo's next. Ramos.
João Felix. Rafael Leao.
Like, the list could go on and on and on. And these people, except for Felix, play top level football. Some half of the team or four of them are like Champions League winners. So are they gonna show that when they actually play big games like Colombia? Because that's my theory. I think they're trying to go easy on small teams, and then when they're trying to recover, they can't because now they don't have creativity. I think with Colombia, they can have more like, all right, let's do this, like getting that winning mentality, and I think they're gonna win. However, if Portugal decides to act like they did last World Cup in this one, they're not gonna go any farther. If they decide to just be, what was the word I was looking for? Individualistic. Because you saw us in the second half, a lot of them trying to take everyone, trying to score instead of doing passing and the mentality or connections with the forwards.
Ronaldo's there to score. Give him the service. What's the difference between Portugal and Ronaldo to Messi and Argentina? Argentina plays for Messi. They'll do anything for him, and they'll give him the ball whenever they can. That's the difference here. I don't understand the issue with Portugal.
I mean,
They're
I
not
don't
gonna
either.
go far if this continues.
I don't either because he just get in not the Champions League, the Nations League. Like, I'm just kind of confused. And it was also the first game of the World Cup. Argentina flopped in the last World Cup in the first game. Spain did it in 2010. So I don't know. Maybe this is Portugal's year. The champion has shown they always lose the first game. But I don't know. We'll see against Colombia. That's going to be a good test.
That's gonna be a very good game. A really good test because they're in second place right now at the time we're recording this video. Colombia has 6 points, they're on top. And
the way the Democratic Republic of Congo played, if they, Colombia barely beat 1-0 at the last minute, like 75 minutes or something. Portugal tied. What if Congo smacks Uzbekistan and Portugal loses by more than 2 goals to Colombia? Portugal is technically gonna fight. They had to end up in the best 3 to go to an extra round, right? So everything's on the line for all these 4 teams. Because Uzbekistan's not gonna want to lose 3 games in a row.
And there are a lot of issues to Portugal. I don't know. Also, I don't know how many people like the defender Renato Vega. Dude, in my opinion, honestly, I think he does not cut it for international football, like the best of the best. Because when I watch him, he's a mistake ready to happen. If you play a good team, he's bound to make a mistake. He's a defender, but he doesn't seem like he can defend at all, really. And I don't know why the coach is just continuing to play him. He has no skill. When the ball comes to him, he has no composure where he can pass it down to another defender, his teammate. He just knocks it forward, and then whoever gets it, gets it. I'm pretty sure there's another better defender on the bench that you can play. At least try it, because I'm not really trusting this guy.
And my question would have been, there was an offside goal that got cancelled out by VAR from Uzbekistan at the 30th minute. 2-1.
That was a banger.
Right? Imagine they would have tied it 2-2. That's how the game would have ended. We're not looking to get blamed.
100%.
Even though the one who scored, was trying that whole game. And also, like you said, there were those passes where people didn't pass it to him when he was clearly by himself for a chance of goal. Right? Was that gonna be his fault?
100% people are gonna blame him.
Or like if Portugal's up 2-0, it's Ronaldo's fault that they tied 2-2.
It's gonna be Ronaldo's fault somehow. I don't know, man.
But
I don't know what people see in Conceição, but I'm not seeing it.
Again, I'm gonna keep tying it because this every time you talk about one, the other one has to be mentioned. A commentator said yesterday, why does it matter if Messi disappears 38 minutes, 30 minutes? He gave you a goal and an assist. Or why does he matter if he disappears again when he gives you another goal? Right? And so that same applies for Ronaldo. Let him be a ghost for how many minutes? Give him one ball, he's gonna score it. And that's what matters in football. That's the scoreboard.
And that's the key right there, though, that Portugal isn't getting. Give them one ball. Give them the ball.
In every sport, people are gonna say defense wins you games and championships. And it's true. But in football, at least to me, I like to think it's kind of an outlier. Where sure, you could be so good defensively, but at the moment they break you, then you're done. Because then you're not good at attacking.
Yeah.
Right? Think about Arsenal. PSG went up 1-0 in the final. Nothing to do. They couldn't do nothing to even get close to scoring against PSG. So I think in football, for me, it's always the attack. Obviously defensively, but creativity in the midfield. But it doesn't matter how you score one goal. The goal is always going to give you more power than having a 0-0. Because defensively, you can't attack. Attack, you can always attack.
Yeah, I feel the same way. In my opinion, I would say offense wins you games. Because if you're defending, if you're super good at defending, you're defending all the time, you're compact, you're doing everything defensively, I feel like that tires you out more than trying to attack and score a goal.
And you could always go to penalties, and it doesn't guarantee you're going to win.
Exactly.
And the only team, personally, that I've seen that defense wins the championships, and it happens like every 10 or something years, is Chelsea. I don't see any other team that has won in football a game because of defending. Last thing I'll say about this is Portugal definitely has enough players to win the World Cup. This is not one of them where they could say like, oh, we were lacking this, we were lacking this player. There's no excuses in Portugal this season, and they cannot blame Ronaldo.
I'm so happy that Ronaldo scored. Even one goal, 2 goals, it doesn't matter. He scored, and you could kind of see it in his reaction, like, oof, the pressure has been relieved.
You know, because people cannot discredit he scored against Uzbekistan. I mean, Messi scored against Algeria. Mbappe, the ones they score, they're also not like the best teams. Haaland, the ones he scored, but you know, they all got praise. And Ronaldo got praise too. But yes, for people who will try to discredit, what matters is scoring in important games, or games that are gonna give you points to move forward.
I just found the quote of what Ronaldo said. He said, "I knew God helps those work. I knew that my teammates were going to help me as well. It was a difficult week, a dark week. It felt like I was already retired from football, but I held on as I always do. It was difficult, I have to confess, but we are back." For a guy who's been in the game for like decades, and he's been through it all, and he's heard everything, this was like his darkest times. It felt like it actually impacted him. All the criticism and him not scoring.
And it could also be because he knows that this is it with Portugal. Like, you know, last year with that was it, but I think this time it is. So I could just imagine that, right? But I think him saying that actually pushed the Portugal teammates to instead go back to playing as a team rather than individualistic. Because I think during the week they were like trying to be more. There was a lot of videos floating around them trying to be more like a team. And I don't think that was just PR. I think they actually wanted to put that out. If they keep playing like they did the second half, not the first half, it's gonna get kind of bumpy out there.
And in this quote, he gave his teammates credit. He said, "Oh, my teammates helped me," and stuff like that. So I don't see where the disconnect is of not passing it to him. He gives them credit, and he's not taking all the credit and everything, you know, like, "Oh, it's me, I did it, it's me." He's saying, "Oh, they helped me." It's in that.
Well, and I think I seen him do that with Madrid, right? But I don't think I ever heard him say Portugal won because of him. I don't think I ever actually, other than him saying he's a top scorer for Portugal.
I don't see the reason of not passing it to him. I just don't understand, but whatever.